Okay, if I could have everybody raise your hand, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I want you to keep your hand up until you answer no to one of the questions, and you can answer in your head. So, are you 18 years or older? Does someone in your household have access to an automobile? Do you currently eat any of the following foods? Meats, vegetables, eggs, dairy, grains, or processed foods? Do you currently use any of the following products? Shampoo, conditioner, face wash, mouthwash, perfume, toothpaste? Do you currently have any smart electronic devices? And I know you do. Do you currently have any sporting goods, such as surfboards, snowboards, camping gear, etc.? Do you currently own multiple articles of clothing from designer or brand name stores? I'm glad everybody kept their hand up, because otherwise you'd be lying. But according to slaveryfootprint.com, you have over 50 slaves supporting your current lifestyle. Today I'll be talking about the impacts of human trafficking, which turned into modern-day global slavery, and how each and every one of us can get involved to stop this atrocity. Human trafficking is ingrained in our society and is the foundation of our economy. But there are many ways we can get involved through government policy change, through raising awareness, by getting informed about which companies have different practices for production, by sharing information on social media, and by reporting any incidents of abuse you see. Growing up, I thought that human trafficking and modern slavery was reserved for desperately poor nations with no governmental structure or economic opportunity for their people. Unfortunately, over the last few years studying at Pepperdine, I've come to the realization that our society not only perpetuates, but supports this phenomenon. The UN Office of Drug and Crime defines human trafficking as the acquisition of people by improper means such as force, fraud, or deception with the aim of exploiting them. There are three purposes generally for human trafficking, and they include sexual exploitation, forced labor, and child soldiers. Though sexual exploitation and child soldiers are a really important issue, today we're going to only focus on forced labor. There are 20.9 million innocent men, women, and children currently in forced labor, according to modern-day slavery. These people are taken from their homes or lured with the promise of a better life, only to be entrapped day after day by these people. Most of these people are not American, and they don't live in the United States, but the goods that they produce are the foundation for our economy. The three areas in which we gain goods that are usually produced with forced labor or child labor fall into the categories of food procurement, manufacturing, and mining. Though pornography is also a category that's addressed multiple times, again, we're not going to talk about that. Some of the most common goods that are made with forced labor or child labor include cotton, sugarcane, tobacco, coffee, cattle, fish, rice, cocoa, fireworks, bricks, garments, carpets, gold, coal, and diamonds, according to dozens of U.S. or Western companies utilize unethical means of production, as in child labor or forced labor, to keep their profits high and their costs low. I'm going to give you an uncomprehensive list of just a few companies that have been proven to not only use unethical means of production in the past, but continue to do so. This list is going to drop you. So they include Nestle, H&M, Philip Morris, which is a cigarette company, Walmart, Victoria's Secret, Gap, Hershey, Forever 21, and Disney. Just want you to reflect on this list for a moment. Oh, Disney. Again, this is not a comprehensive list, according to 10 companies that still use child labor. But the most profound thought for me was to remember that some of my best childhood memories were at Disneyland, and they came at the expense of another child's worst nightmare. Moving even beyond the idea of foreign goods imported using child or forced labor, there are over 57,000 slaves living in the United States today, according to Global Slavery Index. That's 0.02% of the, or though that's only 0.02% of the total population of modern slavery, this number is extremely too high given that our country is built on these ideas of freedom. Many of these people are in forced prostitution, which is an atrocity. However, something even more surprising to me was that thousands of these accounts are due to personal slavery, people having their own slaves for things like housekeeping and gardening. I know that this issue might seem so big, so complicated, and so globalized that there's nothing we can really do, and we're resigned to the fact that this is just society's horrible little secret. But in fact, I'm going to go through many things that I urge each and every one of us to do together. On a governmental level, I urge each and every one of you to advocate or support different governmental policy changes, such as these petitions I found on change.org, like, tell the Senate modern slavery must stop and put slavery out of business. Furthermore, writing a letter to your senator or congressman can really make a big difference. I know it might seem trite or cliche, just like write a letter to your congressman, but if we all do this, we can show Congress and different government institutions that this is really important to us. Something even more powerful that we can do and more tangible for us is to create awareness in our local communities. The first step in creating awareness is understanding different companies' production practices. I put on the screen Fair Trade Resource Network, which is a website that has outlined all the possible resources for you to go on and see different companies' ethical or unethical production practices. It's impossible to boycott every company that uses unethical means of production. Even this presentation and all of my clothes are made with unethical means of production. But understanding the different companies' kinds of manufacturing is the first step. The next step you can take is supporting local or national organizations. These organizations work on a large scale to prevent global slavery and human trafficking as a whole, but also on a small scale to support local survivors. I put on the screen IJM, which is International Justice Mission. It's a national organization working for these causes. They have a club on campus you can get involved in. They meet on Thursdays in the sandbar if you're interested. Another organization I recently found is called 821. It operates out of Costa Mesa, California, and it works both on a large scale of preventing global slavery, but also has a lot of really cool initiatives and fundraisers to support local survivors in our community. Next, you can use social media as a platform to reach your local social network. Between your beautiful selfies and your hysterical memes, please use your social media as a platform for those who don't have their own voice. Posting articles and supporting organizations through your social media is a powerful way to show your local community that you care about this issue. Finally, reporting incidents of abuse, human trafficking, or global slavery can make a big difference. Though it may not be obvious throughout your life, you are most likely going to come in contact with someone who suffers from one of these things. Reporting any of the following signs I'm going to list to you to the Polaris Project will make a significant difference, not only in that individual's life, but also in creating awareness of the problem in your community. So if you see someone who works excessively long hours, someone who's not allowed to take breaks, someone who has extreme security at work, like cameras or bars on their window, someone who shows signs of physical or sexual abuse, maybe from being confined, someone who has few personal possessions, someone who has no control over their money or their documentation, and someone who can't speak for themselves, please contact the Polaris Project and report this incident. It's easy to justify not getting involved in someone else's life, but this could make a really big difference. Using the tools I've just outlined, we can all create awareness in our society that this issue is prevalent. Through our awareness, as consumers, we have the ability to sway big companies. This is really easily visualized through Starbucks. Previously, Starbucks had 100% of their coffee suppliers use unethical means of production. When consumers found out about this, they were outraged and they demand Starbucks change this practice. Now, 8.5% of their coffee is fair trade. And I know that might not seem like a lot, but Starbucks serves 60 million people a week. That's a lot of coffee. So even changing 8.5% of this practice will literally impact thousands of people. Human trafficking and global slavery is the foundation of our economy and our society. Millions of people are exploited day after day, and it's time that we all work together to stop this. Signing petitions, writing letters to your senator or congressman, gaining knowledge about companies' production practices, supporting local or national organizations, using your social media as a platform, and reporting any signs of abuse, human trafficking, or forced labor are all things that I urge each and every one of us to do. America's history is already so colored with the injustice of the innocent for the success of the few. Don't let our generation be the next generation's history lessons. Though we might not have control over the overarching economic structure of our world, we all need to work together to create a future where not one slave supports our lifestyle. Thank you.